Welcome back to Community Conversations. I'm your host, Steve Mantis, and my guest today is the Mayor of Marathon, Rick Dumas.
Great.
All right, Rick, so we kind of talked about the past. Now, what about the future? What does the future hold for Marathon? What are we looking at in terms of economic opportunities?
Well, the mining sector is a unique system where they come to the municipalities and we call it communities of interest. Barrick has Marathon, Beat-to-Gon, Anishinaabe, which is formerly Pick River, Manitouwadge, as well as Pick-Mobert First Nations. They come and meet with us every quarter and talk about how the mining sector is doing and what they're doing in particular, as much as they can share with us. And they always talk about a 5-year plan, Steve. The 5-year plan is the life of the mine. So they've come and met with us, says we got a 5-year plan, here's the life of the mine in 5 years. So we're good, we know, till 2020. So,
That's the existing gold mine.
that's right.
Okay.
And so if you look back in 2012, they came and talked to us about a 5-year plan, and here we are in 2016, and we still got a 5-year plan. So we feel there's opportunities there in the mining sector, specifically in the gold mine with Barrick Hemlo. So that's great. They employ about 700 people within the area, and most of those employees live in Marathon. So we're obviously greatly impacted by that. That benefits us greatly in regards to
That's your biggest employer.
Absolutely. So that benefits us greatly in regards to that, and it's a well-paying job and real good impact economically to the communities that are involved, as I said. We're also looking forward to Marathon in regards to the Stillwater project. There hasn't been a whole lot of talk in the last couple of years. Stillwater in 2014, Steve, was right at the cusp of going through their environmental assessment. They pulled the plug on the assessment at that time in February 2014 because there were some issues in regards to the worldwide market of platinum, palladium. The costs had come down, and copper, the price had come down. So they kind of put it on the back burner. Still operating, still doing exploration work on the site, still putting money into the budget for those programs to do exploration work. So we feel positive that I look at it as a glass half full. If the market turns around, they're going to go full gung-ho on that project. That'd be great. That was potentially near 350 jobs directly at Stillwater, Canada, if that project goes forward. And I believe if the market turns, we'll see a project there eventually in the future. We also look at, as I said, we talked a bit about the mill property and diversification there with great opportunities.
This is the paper mill.
The paper mill property, and there's opportunities
so it's right on the lake shore,
Absolutely.
right on the...
Absolutely. And one thing that has been spoken much in the last couple of years is in regards to the Nowingo-Gokima Forest Corporation. As you know, the government of Ontario created a pilot program, and Marathon was successful in receiving the pilot program and having the administrative office located in our community. And this is about harvesting fiber. So we talk about the forestry sector. We see a rebound in the forestry sector. We see that happening. And our neighboring communities have been the harvesting members of the forest, where they go out and harvest the fiber and bring it to the mills, the sawmills. Marathon is now the administrative portion of that. We see the benefit of that, and we see the benefit of the forest being in control of the communities, because the members of the board are made up of the communities within the forest. And that was part of the pilot program that the government made back 5-6 years ago.
So this is the pilot really around community-based forestry, is that right?
Absolutely.
And so who are the partners again in that corporation?
Sure. Right now there's Marathon, Manitouwadge, Hornpain, White River, Hornpain First Nations, Pick-Mobert First Nations, and Pick River, which is now Beat-to-Gon, Anishinaabe. Those are the 7 partners at the table, and those 7 members are where the forest is. So the forest is our backyard, and we're the members who are controlling how the forest is harvested and worked. And in prior years, it was the companies that were in charge of the forest and had the forest management plan. So if a company, and in our case Marathon, went bankrupt, they still retained the forest. That wasn't fair and equitable. So over the years, those things have worked out, and most of the forest now are within the board's management control. So it's working well.
So this board, made up of really the municipalities and the First Nations,
Right.
are the ones that give out the contracts for harvesting.
Absolutely.
As opposed to, like you say, the forestry company itself.
Absolutely. And through that management and the management team of the Forest Corporation in Nowingo-Gokima, they award obviously fiber to whoever is successful in regards to the cost and all those things. And that's great because it's a management tool and they're managing the forest, and we have input in that, whereas in the past we never had input, so it's a good tool.
And what do you see as the difference in terms of what the forest is like these days?
Well, I think the difference is no matter what happens in regards to the companies that are buying the fiber from a management corporation, you'll never see a real prime example, when a company goes bankrupt, Steve, you have the little guy who might have 30 or 40 employees harvesting wood in the bush, bringing it to the consumer, the mill or the sawmill, and the sawmill or the mill goes bankrupt. Well, the little guy now has to go bankrupt. In this case now, the management corporation hires the little guy with his 30, 40 guys and says, I need so many thousand cubic meters of fiber, bring it to there. Well, that corporation is a crown corporation. The little guy is not going to get literally screwed over. He's going to get his paycheck. He's going to get paid by the management corporation. So there's always a cohesive working arrangement between all the different parties rather than mills and the little guy harvesting the fiber. So I think it's a great tool and it will work really well.
So this is a partnership between the municipality and the First Nations. Are there other, like this is kind of new to me, and how's that working? Are there other partnerships like that in your area?
Not in our area. In regards to our partnerships with First Nations, Marathon has had a great relationship with Beatagon, previous Pick River, in regards to working partnerships, and we're working at opportunities going forward. And I always say to Chief Duncan Michano and his council that we're one community with two different cultures, but the reality is we want to share our recreational aspects, our health aspects. We all want the same thing in life, and we're so close together that we have to work together, and we've been working together great for the last 10 years. So that partnership is really good, and I see us building on those partnerships. And at the end of the day, it's all about quality of life for everybody. It doesn't matter who you are and where you live. It's about coming together, make sure that we have a good quality of life the time we're here on Earth, and between recreation, good safe communities, healthcare, that's what we all want, and that's as simple as that.
And so that's really the role of the municipality, as you see it, to try to make all that happen, whether you provide the direct services or you're advocating for other levels of government that provide those services.
Absolutely, and in most cases, I mean, I see our role as the advocator for the municipality, to the I call them my parents and my grandparents. The provincial government's my parents, and the federal government's my grandparents. So I'm there advocating on both hands. If I'm not getting nothing from my parent, then I have to go to the grandparent and see if he'll talk to the parent to give me money back down to the municipality. So
just don't be talking to my grandkids, okay? I got too many of them, I can't afford it.
Yeah, well, we all want money from the provincial and federal governments, but it's about making the right argument, the right case, and making sure that the affordability is there for the municipality as well as provincial and federal government. So I see our relationship with both Patty Haidu as our rep as well as Michael Gravel. Great. I've had great relationships with both. Patty is new onto the scene, but she's been a great advocate for Marathon in the region. And Michael's been there, I think he got elected in 1995, and he's been a great advocate for us as well. So the relationship's there, and we have that open door policy where we can come and go and make our argument with them many times over. So it's been a good haul.
Rick, we're just about out of time. If people want to get in touch with you or find out more about Marathon and what's going on there, how do they do that?
Well, Steve, I'm the most accessible mayor. Accessibility is one of my big proponents when I go out and I talk to people. Just call me anytime. My cell number is publicly advertised, 229-6842.
We'll put it on the screen.
Absolutely. Mayor@marathon.ca. Give me a call anytime. We have a thing at Municipal Council where it's called Municipal Matters. Anybody come and see us and talk to us about anything, anytime. Half an hour before our council meeting. We're really an open door policy council. We have student councilors on our council that have that youth engagement. We're really just open to everybody, and we want to promote ourselves as that. So by any means, anybody can give me a call anytime and have a chat.
Thanks so much for coming on the show, Rick. For our viewers, just to remind you, we have a Facebook page called Community Conversations. Go on to Facebook, like that page. Any comments, suggestions you have for the show are always welcome. We also post the show on YouTube, where you can find us searching Community Conversations Thunder Bay. Thank you so much, and have a safe week.